Welcome to the Jamaican Investor. I'm your host, Darain, and thanks for tuning in for another video. Today's video is going to be a bit more casual as I just want to go over a few of the reasons I'm extremely bullish when it comes to the JSE right now and why I think there is major upside in participating in the market presently. I've put down a few points here that I want to go over in no particular order to support my argument and look forward to getting your opinions on them in the comments below. And remember, none of the information in this video is intended as financial advice and is for information and entertainment purposes only. Please consult a licensed financial advisor before making any decisions on how to manage your money. Also, I do hold investments on the JSE and actively participate in the market, and just want to put that out there as well as a disclosure. So the first thing I wanted to cover is right now there are more young people investing in the market. So before, when it came to investing, especially like in Jamaica, not a lot of people, especially younger people, were really talking about the market and really knew anything as it relates to the Jamaica Stock Exchange or the JSE. I think in recent times though, because of the great performance that the Jamaican market has had, more young people are looking to participate in the market, especially as there have been more IPOs, more additional public offerings, and more issuances overall on the market, and more information is basically readily available for more younger investors to participate. Younger investors that may not have necessarily been interested in the market because they might not have known about this before, or maybe because of the level of education that they would have received before as it relates to their finances and money. I think the paradigm as it relates to that is slowly changing, and more younger people are becoming more financially aware of themselves. It's for this reason I think that there are a lot more young people that are interested in the JSE. I know for me, for example, I became more interested in the market when I started to see more news out there. I started to see more businesses going on the market and looking to raise capital on the capital markets here in Jamaica, as well as I saw a lot of businesses looking to cross-list, such as like Guardian recently. There's also news about Massey Insurance looking to cross-list on the JSE as well as there are other companies I've been hearing about in the pipeline, such as like WePay possibly listing on the Jamaican market. And I think overall, that has really inspired a lot of younger people to invest and participate in the JSE, especially when they're seeing newer companies like Mailpack being in like the e-commerce space. That's something that a lot of people use on a daily basis, especially younger people, such as people who already use Amazon. And I think for that reason, they were particularly interested in like stocks like Mailpack. We also see stocks like Trans-Jamaican Highway in recent history that came in at a relatively low nominal dollar value as it relates to the actual cost of the stock, making it a lot more easier for younger people who may not be as financially stable or may not have as much disposable income to really invest. So for that reason, I think that especially in recent history, a lot of more young people are becoming interested in the market and interested in investing, particularly on the JSE. And I think that that's going to have a major impact in the future because as more people come on, the trading volumes on the JSE will increase further. There'll be more liquidity in the market. And generally, when young people get into things, they tend to share those things with their friends. And through socializing with their friends and family, they'll also introduce them to the market as well. So it's for this reason that I think that because more young people are becoming interested in investing, sorry about that there, I think for that reason that the market is really going to take off like going forward. I know probably because of COVID, it's been a little slow at the moment, and that might have been what's been slowing down that takeoff. But I think that after COVID is over, hopefully soon, more people will definitely be interested in the market, especially younger people who are the future of the country. The next reason why I'm more bullish on the Jamaica Stock Exchange right now and the performance of the JSE like going forward is there are more programs, more investment information platforms that have been launching recently. We've seen a lot of instances of webinars lately, such as the one held by the Jamaica Stock Exchange, partnered with NCB and few other financial institutions as it relates to gathering awareness basically and providing information to newer investors just to let them know more about the market. So this kind of ties in with what I was mentioning earlier with more young people are investing these days. These types of programs, these types of webinars and seminars, as well as the JSE has launched a podcast recently. We have a lot more YouTubers such as Kalila talking about the market and really talking about the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Well, she's been doing it for some time now, but there's more awareness being brought towards the market as there are more programs that are readily available for people to get information on investing on the JSE, as well as to get information as to what type of route they can take with their investing, learning about new terms like stocks and bonds. While that might be things that we readily know about, since we're familiar with the market, we're familiar with the financial landscape, a lot of people don't necessarily know what this is, especially a lot of younger people. They don't really know what that type of thing is. If you weren't somebody that maybe did businesses in school, or if you didn't have a passion or an interest in like investing or banking or finance overall in general, accounting, anything like that, if you didn't have any form of background, then this isn't really information that would have been readily available to you. And most people aren't going to actively go out and seek this information. So I think that more free webinars and basically podcasts, YouTube channels, things like that are popping up more, that are providing more information to the average Jamaican as it relates to investing. And this information is leading more people to get onto the investing landscape. And to just add to that point of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, or the JSE, being one of the main markets within the Caribbean, if not the main market, how I see it, there's a lot of opportunity for different forms of products like ETFs to come to the market. There's a lot of opportunity for financial institutions to provide different types of financial products like mutual funds or index funds can be readily made available on the market as more businesses essentially come to the market, and that provides more diversity, as well as things like options trading and short selling aren't things that are on the JSE right now. It's not really something you could necessarily do. So I think that a lot of those things, especially because we haven't been exposed to that can bring new opportunities to the retail investors as well as institutional investors as it relates to the JSE and its outlook for the future. How I see it is these types of things will not only provide more opportunities for everybody, it'll also ensure that there's more market efficiency and ensure that basically the Jamaica Stock Exchange can provide basically the same benefits, I guess I would say, as like more global and traditional markets like the US market and markets in Europe and Asia and other developed parts of the world. So I think there's a lot of upside as it relates to this too for the JSE, and fingers crossed everything works out. I can't predict the future, and I don't think anybody can, but based on what I'm seeing, I'm really bullish on the future of the JSE and like how things are playing out. I think these are like really important points to look at when looking if you want to invest on the JSE, as well as when looking at the future of the markets in general. And one of the last things I guess I want to look at, or a last point I think is relevant to kind of bring up in this more casual video, and again I hope you've been enjoying it so far, is I think there's a really high level of transparency on the JSE. I think that information is really distributed relatively efficiently, considering that Jamaica doesn't have the most developed stock market, especially when compared to other developed nations that already have established stock markets. But I think the transparency is pretty good. Whenever any shareholders or directors or anybody like that trades, that information is readily, I should say, made public to everybody, as well as if there's any news of acquisitions or anything like that. That's usually something that's readily available on the JSE's website. It comes out as quickly, I'm assuming, as they could possibly get it out there. So I think that level of transparency and how quickly information becomes available allows investors, both institutional and retail investors, to kind of react quicker to the market and kind of make any changes that they need to make in their stock portfolios or how they're approaching a certain stock or equity. So I think that level of transparency, both like from the perspective of Jamaicans as well as potential international investors, that makes the JSE right now extremely attractive, because people want to know that where they're putting their money is safe and that the businesses basically aren't ripping them off, they aren't forging their documents. And based on what I'm seeing right now, the JSE and the FSC, that's the Financial Services Commission, they've been really regulating the market, I would say pretty good. The infrastructure that I see set out as it relates to how businesses operate, I'm pretty satisfied, I have to say, especially as a new investor and learning about these things and learning about the checks and balances they have in place. I think that they're doing a pretty good job to ensure that both the investor is protected as well as the businesses perform in an equitable manner. So I believe too, for this reason, like the level of transparency on the market will add to the stability and would add to the appeal for more international investors to come onto the scene, as well as people in the diaspora that are looking to invest back into Jamaica. This level of transparency will definitely make them feel a lot more comfortable when it comes to putting their money back into Jamaica. Alright, well, those are just some of the points that I just really wanted to go over as to why I'm bullish on the Jamaica Stock Exchange right now, the JSE. This wasn't really like a scripted video. I tried to make it more casual. I'm kind of just talking from my head here. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I was able to really relay my points the way that I wanted to kind of express them. I do look to, or I am looking, I should say, to create a more scripted video, more structured video on some of these points in the future. Just stay tuned to the channel. That's definitely something I'll consider doing. But I just wanted to try a more casual video just to see if this would be more appealing to the audience. So leave a comment below as it relates to what you think about this video. Once more, thank you so much for sticking around until the end of this video, and I hope the information was useful to you. If you enjoyed our content, leave a like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Also, check us out on our various other social media platforms, which will be linked in the description below. Again, my name was Arain. Stay financially conscious, investors. Goodbye.